Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? What is good? The king of lightning, here today, bringing you guys and gals Boku no Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 18 review. Ladies and gentlemen, the cavalry battle is over. We have ourselves our 4 winners. Pretty intense stuff going on there, especially when it comes to Midoriya, Todoroki, and my main man, Bakugo. So, first and foremost, dive right into it, the animation of the episode. Overall, it was actually pretty damn good. Above average when it comes to the series thus far, and the main reason why is because of the intensity of most of the moments. And on top of that, you have these slow motion scenes where it really emphasizes the animation. When you have Todoroki blocking Midoriya with his left fire side, but like unintentionally, like instinctively, you have Midoriya, he's like reaching out towards him and you can see the glow and the aura of the ability. And on top of that, you have well animated scenes that are fairly casual scenes. An example would be All Might and Endeavor talking, and you see Endeavor, the flame on his body. It honestly looks very good. So essentially, animation overall, it was fairly good, better than average, mainly because of the intensity of most of the scenes. And it only makes sense considering how this is the climax of the cavalry battle. So animation overall, good. When it comes to the pacing and the structure, basically it is the cavalry battle conclusion. So you have the cavalry battle itself, and then you have the post-cavalry battle where you have the announcements of who won and what place they came in, and then the reaction of the students. And after that, there's some dialogue when it comes to characters like All Might, when it comes to Eraserhead, and so on and so forth. So that is the overall pacing and the structure of the episode. Relatively simple, straightforward, just 2 parts. When it comes to the story progression, the cavalry battle is over, and now we're going to be going into an hour break. It looks like during this break, we're going to have some pretty hefty dialogue, not only between Midoriya and Todoroki, but also All Might and Endeavor. So in this case, you have the future version of All Might talking to the future version of Endeavor. And then you have All Might and Endeavor themselves. So it's like the present and the future talking amongst themselves when it comes to, I suppose, the standing of heroes. My guess here would be that if Bakugo does go the long haul, I mean, who knows if he actually will or not, but if he does go the long haul, or even if the series touches upon that kind of stuff in the future, Bakugo would be number 2. Let's assume for now that Todoroki becomes number 2 in the future, because we know from the dialogue at the beginning of every episode that Midoriya becomes the greatest hero of all time. We know that. So there is that symbolic connection between those two, Midoriya and Todoroki, and then All Might and Endeavor, clearly. So it's setting up for this dialogue that should be pretty hefty. Then we have the elimination of most of the parties involved. Only 4 teams won. The teams that won were Todoroki's team number 1, Bakugo's team at number 2, Shinso's team at number 3, and then Midoriya's team at number 4. Now, Shinso is the one guy with purple hair from Class 1C. Like, the only guy of Class 1C that's relevant. This guy came in 3rd place. So, initially, Tetsu's team wasn't like 3rd place. But all of a sudden, out comes Shinso. What's going on here? And he does have Ojiro on his team, as well as the one guy, I forgot what his name was, but the guy that shoots out the belly button laser, whatever his name is. Ojiro's on his team, but Ojiro is kind of like, wait, what? Huh? What's going on? There's something to that, obviously. The belly button guy's in the corner just looking depressed and whatever, but Shinso, it's his squad. He led the team, and we've been all focused on what's going on with Midoriya, with Bakugo, with Monoma, with Todoroki, that we really lost sight as to what was really going on, like almost like a sleight of hand. Here we have Shinso from the shadows, just like, yo, 3rd place, I'm in this bit. Okay. And then finally, the 4th team was Midoriya's team. And the reason why Midoriya's team wins is basically Tokoyami. Tokoyami is good. All right, he's really good. He's underrated because Season 1, no real focus on him, but now he's getting his fair share of shine. You see it at the end when the clash between Bakugo, Midoriya, and Todoroki takes place. Todoroki on defense, you have Midoriya, you have Bakugo on offense, trying to grab the 1 million headband. You see, it's like for like a split second, Tokoyami's shadow is pretty much where Todoroki is, but then it retracts. Like, we don't see it actually grab the headband, but we see it retract. It's for a split second, and they got 600 some odd points. Tokoyami clutched it. Clutched it very well. So, those are the 4 squads. Now we're going to be on break, and then there's going to be the next section of the sports festival, obviously. So, that is the overall story progression. And then finally, when it comes to characterization, we got a few things here. So number one, characterization. Let's go to Ida. Ida showcased a new move, and his move is called the Reciprocal Burst. Now, this move is high acceleration, just blasting with all of his torque, and he just jets like a rocket. That speed is so powerful, where his group is able to cover the distance between them and Midoriya's group in like an instant, to the point where Midoriya can't even react to it. Like, what the hell just happened? And in that second, Todoroki was able to grab the headband. So we're talking about some very impressive speed, and it is because of Ida. It is because of Ida that they were able to get the 1 million headband. But the move itself does have a drawback to where once he does use that move, his engines have to go on cooldown because he's exhausted too much of its power. He's utilized too much torque. So towards the later end of the episode, when you have Bakugo and Midoriya reaching out towards Todoroki to get the headband, you have Ida, he's trying to start the engines, but they won't start at all because, again, he's used up way too much torque. Moving on from that, we have a bit of Kaminari, where Kaminari does utilize, I think it was 1.3 million volts to shock the surrounding students so they wouldn't move. So that was fairly impressive, and he could still continue on going as well. Then after that, we have Monoma of Class 1B. And Monoma showcases his quirk, and his quirk is called Copy. And that's, I mean, it's straightforward. I touch you, and I can use your quirk for about 5 minutes. But he can only utilize one quirk at a time. But here we see him use Bakugo's quirk, as well as Kirishima's quirk, and they were fending off Bakugo fairly well. But Bakugo just went in there balls deep. So let's go over to Bakugo's character. Bakugo, it's classic Bakugo in a sense, but you have Eraserhead talk about the difference between those who strive for success and those who strive for the top. Yeah, you can be successful, but there's a difference between you and those who want to be the numero uno. Even though Bakugo got 2 headbands and they were in 3rd place, it wasn't enough. He wanted to make a goddamn statement. Bakugo made a plan. So he had Sero use one of the tapes to make, like, I would say, a rope line in front of Monoma. And then in doing so, Mina, the acid girl, it's almost like a sled in a way. The acid itself underneath them becomes lubrication for them to move forward after Bakugo does his palm blast. So they basically propel themselves forward and they grab the last headband from Monoma. Even though the guy with the air power tried to block it, Bakugo just smashed right through it. So when it comes to character, it's the ambition and the drive of those who seek to be #1, aside from those who just want to pass. That was showcased in this confrontation between Bakugo's group and Monoma's group. And arguably, the reason why you have Bakugo and company Class 1A and Monoma and company Class 1B. Moving on from that, we have Tokoyami. Again, Tokoyami able to perceive the slight opening that Midoriya created, got the headband, and then they were able to move on to the next round. So that was impressive. That insight, even in that stressful of a situation, is very impressive on the part of Tokoyami. Very impressive. Next for characterization is going to be Todoroki, and it is simply put reinforcement that Todoroki does not want to do what his father wants him to do. So when he has his fire side ignite instinctively to block Midoriya's attack, he was shocked at what he was doing, because clearly he didn't want to be doing that. Clearly his fire side actually lighting up was something that he did not want to occur. So just fortifying the notion that him and his father have real issues. And what's going on there exactly, we'll find out in the future. Finally, for characterization, we have Midoriya. And Midoriya, he does showcase a little more insight when it comes to his powers, where he does use his powers deliberately this time to swipe away the fire that was emitting from Todoroki's left arm. And he did not hurt himself, nor Todoroki. He used the right amount of force, and he swiped away his arm. It hurt him a little bit, but his hand wasn't broken at all. Like, it was relatively fine. So, essentially, he did seem to gain greater control of his abilities in that moment. Will that stay? Again, only the future will tell. So that being said, folks, when it comes to this episode, I would say overall, it is a good plus episode of Boku no Hero Academia. Pacing is meh. The animation is good. It really is good. The story progression is solid as well, because we are moving on to the next portion of the festival. And then finally, when it comes to characterization, we do touch upon many characters at once. Some of it is substantive, some of it really isn't. But nonetheless, overall characterization was good. So that being said, folks, once again, the episode rating overall is going to be a good plus, and I'm going to see you cats later. Be sure to rate the video. Not that hard to do when you have a device called a mouse. Ooh, use it to rate the video, to subscribe, to click on the notification bell to join the squad, as well as comment. Use a keyboard. Use a keyboard to do that. And I'm going to see you cats later. Peace and have a nice goddamn day.